So a week ago, we bought this Promaster 1500 136 wheelbase van used in Buford, Georgia. And the build has kind of started. I've been accumulating things that I need. Many of the things I need are on back order. And that kind of screws up the sequence. You know, you obviously have to do the sound deadening and insulating before you start sticking windows in and whatnot. So what I've done instead is I've decided that, you know, an important part of the floor plan is the bed. Pretty much you have to build around the bed. It's the central thing. And a lot of the vans that I see online, they're putting a fixed bed in. And this particular van is about almost 6 feet across. Once you have the insulation and paneling in, it's maybe just a touch under 6 foot. So a lot of people can do that, sleep sideways across it. But I have decided that sideways sleeping in a fixed bed isn't what I want to do. And what I would like to do, because I've owned a few Volkswagen camper vans, is put in the seat, the bench that turns into a bed. And I was able to obtain the hinges for that type of bed. They're copies made of the Volkswagen hinges. I got them in England, or from England. And so I've made a little mock-up here to figure out how they work and how much clearance is needed and etc. So it's kind of what this is here. Once I have this figured out and charted, then I'll be able to figure out where it's going to sit in the van and where the third component of the bed sits, because that sits at the back. And in a Volkswagen, that would be over the engine deck. But for us, it will be a storage area, typically called the garage. But this is the mock-up. It looks a little crazy right now, but if you're familiar with Volkswagen camper vans, you'll hear a click here, which you'll like. That click, and then you would push the bed into a seat, and that would be the seat. It took me a while to figure out these hinges. In the box, they were a complete mystery. So I put them on once, wrong. They come with very little in the way of instructions. I put them on, I thought it just made sense to me that they would go on the inside of the box, just for safety reasons, you know, so you can't put your fingers in there. But that doesn't work, so I put them on the outside as they are now, and I have mashed my fingers twice while I was figuring out how they move and which way they go. But now I finally have it figured out and I feel a lot better. They're brand new, so they're super tight, so it took some oiling and just moving them around once I put the 2x4s on. The 2x4s, of course, it's just a mock-up. That would actually be, you know, 3/4 inch plywood coming across for the back and the seat with 5-inch memory foam on top, and then that would be the bed. And so if you can imagine those cushions, you would lift again, and then you would just, the mock-up moves around, but you would just pull this forward, and then there, that would lay down and make the bed. It took a little while. It took me, I didn't think this was going to take long. I figured this was going to take about an hour and a half to do a mock-up and figure out the hinges, and it's taken about twice that much, and I've mashed my fingers. But I'm finally there. The first victory.